Hi everyone, I am Animesh and in today's episode we have Mr. Akshit Garg with us. So Akshit is my batchmate from PGP-Finance and he has recently interned with Credit Suisse. So hi Akshit, welcome to the show.
Hey, hi Animesh.
So could you tell us more about Credit Suisse and what role were you offered?
Yeah, so let's first talk about Credit Suisse. So Credit Suisse is a bank in Switzerland. They are headquartered in Switzerland. And recently you people must have heard the news also about Credit Suisse. And it's now being acquired by UBS since they reported a very huge loss last year due to multiple reasons. And so their prime focus was in investment banking and their retail branches were only in the Switzerland area. So now I think the dynamics would change for Credit Suisse, but that's the gist about it. So it's mostly focus has been on investment banking. And about my role at Credit Suisse, I was working in the ERM department, that stands for Enterprise Risk Management. And therein, our team as a whole was responsible for managing and mitigating the risk for on the enterprise level, wherein we include all the divisions which Credit Suisse was leading. So what we used to do was, what primarily my role was, so let's say different teams were there, market risk team, credit risk teams, and scenario testing teams. All teams will collaborate and come up with some numbers on their, let's say, particular division level or different entity level. So all the numbers should used to come to us for reporting, and then we used to collate all those numbers and finally had a commentary also on them, how the numbers have changed from, let's say, past quarter, past month and past year. And then finally we used to send the this commentary and this report to our senior management or to the regulators.
Okay. All right, Akshit. Moving to the next question. So what was your internship location? Was it a live project or a mock project? And the most critical question, did you receive your stipend on time?
Yeah, so I think I'll answer this question part. So first was my internship was in Mumbai. It was in Powai region. So they had 3 offices there. We were working in one of them. And in the next question, moving on to what my project was. So I'll say it was a support project. So they already had some process built in for the work they were doing, but we had to automate that and also to streamline multiple processes into one so that it could save us time. So we can say that it was not exactly a mock project. We were working with real numbers. We were working with all the real data, but we were basically streamlining the process as compared to building some new process. And also, as opposed to the normal people would be thinking that Credit Suisse wouldn't have paid your stipend, but yeah, they did it on, they paid your stipend on time as well.
Good to hear that. So digging deeper into your project, अगर किसी को आसान भाषा में समझाना हो कि प्रोजेक्ट पे क्या काम किया, and coming from MBA finance background, उसका कितना फ्लेवर था प्रोजेक्ट में versus normal aptitude की, तो how would you explain that to a layman?
Yeah, so basically I'll tell you there were 2 projects on which I had to work. Both were automation projects.
Okay.
So one was working on Palantir. Okay, Palantir is a dashboard creation tool.
Okay. Like Tableau or Power BI.
Yeah, so not exactly like that, but sort of a dashboard creation only for reporting numbers of this. Okay, so उसमें there were multiple facilities. उसमें we can create contour, we can create reports. So we could create multiple different views of the data which you were getting. So उसमें हमारे डेटा में क्या था कि we had a flow. ठीक है, फ्लो कैसे था कि लेट्स से हमारे पास कंप्लीट डेटाबेस है, देन हम उसे रीजन लेवल पे डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं, हम रिस्क लेवल पे डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं, एंड ये सब नंबर्स यूज टू गो टू आवर सीनियर मैनेजमेंट. ठीक है, दे कुड गेट अ क्लियर पिक्चर ऑफ व्हाट वाज हैपनिंग इन द क्रेडिट स्विस. सो ऑल दीज नंबर्स वर पहले कैसे रिपोर्ट हो रहे थे, पहले अलग अलग टीम्स यूज टू रिपोर्ट दिस नंबर्स एंड दे यूज टू, आवर टीम यूज टू चेक देम डिफरेंटली ऑन मेल. मतलब सब प्रोसेस मेल पे चल रहा था, एक्सेल पे चल रहा था, नो फॉर्मल प्रोसेस वॉज देयर फॉर इट. सो व्हेन आई वाज गिवन द प्रोजेक्ट, व्हाट वी हैड टू डू इज़ कि हमें एक सिंगल डैशबोर्ड पे हमें ये सब करना था, एंड उसमें मंथ ऑन मंथ और मे बी क्वार्टर ऑन क्वार्टर और हाफ मंथली वी जस्ट हैड टू अपडेट द डेट एंड वुड गेट ऑल द रिपोर्ट्स व्हिच वी वांटेड. ठीक है, तो उसमें 2 बेनिफिट्स थे. फर्स्ट तो टाइम सेविंग, देन वी वर गेटिंग एवरीथिंग एट वन प्लेस. सो this was the gist of the project which we were doing, the first project. The second project was we had to do automation for some of the calculations for credit risk using Python. सो हमें क्या होता था कि हमें एक्सेल फाइल मिल रही है टीम से, ठीक है, एंड उसमें वी हैड रॉ नंबर्स. तो उसमें वी हैड टू कैलकुलेट दी लेट्स से क्रेडिट बफर्स. क्रेडिट बफर इज बेसिकली द एक्स्ट्रा ओवरले वी टेक इन फॉर रिस्क, ठीक है. तो हमें वो कैलकुलेट करना होता था, बट उसका प्रोसेस क्या था कि अभी मैनुअल था, ठीक है. तो उसके दो ऑप्शन थे, या तो हम VBA यूज़ करते या हम पाइथन यूज़ करते. तो कमिंग फ्रॉम ए प्रीवियस बैकग्राउंड वेयर आई हैव यूज पाइथन, सजेस्टेड दैट आई थिंक वी शुड गो विद पाइथन, ठीक है. तो उसमें हमने पाइथन यूज़ करके वी ऑटोमेटेड दैट प्रोसेस.
Alright, Akshit. So you come from an engineering background, and that's why you might have an exposure to tools like Python as well as in your past working. But for people who do not have a prior exposure to these tools, उनके लिए कैसा स्ट्रक्चर था वहाँ पे? Was the project allotment done keeping in mind these factors as well? या फिर?
Yeah. So I think right from the starting we had a conversation with our manager कि how our background looked like, ठीक है. So of course मतलब bit of finance was expected from everyone, so that's how interview happened, and they expected that you at least know what is credit risk, what is market risk. So bit of finance was required, a prerequisite for everyone. But post that, learning about technologies was a learning for everyone there and then only. So even if someone was from commerce background and they didn't know Python, so there was no Python project given to him or her. It was basically they might be so some of my colleagues worked on just changing the documentation and improving whatever changes there can be in the process. So no technical knowledge was required in that. No technical knowledge for engineering tools. Okay, for finance you definitely require it, and you were over and over there building it as well. And for some of my colleagues the project looked like that you had to learn VBA also for project. So VBA is a simple application of, I think that's just an advanced Excel technique. And so some did learn that there only. Okay, and there was a good support from your senior colleagues as well. So it was not like you were left to hang out and you had to figure out everything by yourself. So there was a good help also, and you were given sufficient time to practice on everything.
Moving on to the next question. So did you by any chance get to know about how the career trajectory look like once you join as a full-time employee, and what are some exit opportunities where people generally leave?
So currently, to be honest, so there was a lot of haphazard happening right now in the Credit Suisse given the merger announcement. So it was not a very clear career trajectory which you will be taking on, but once you enter as an analyst, and then you will be turning into 2 promotions from senior, and then one more career trajectory after that. Post that you will be promoted to as manager or VP, and over then you will be India risk head and then the global region head. So there were not, I won't say that there are many options to get promoted, but I think that's how it happens in the finance industry, that there are only 3 to 4 levels on which you will be promoting. But in terms of increment, from what I got to know that their increment was really good. So they were giving increments approximately, I think, in the 15 to 25% range, and that they were above the industry standards. So that thing was something which I particularly liked over there.
Alright, Akshit. So as you know, there are around 8 months of gap once you have grabbed the internship opportunity and by the time you join. So in that duration, would you recommend some skill sets for our future batches?
Yeah, so I think, so as this is a risk role, so I think you should be acquainted with different risk terminologies. So you should understand what is credit risk and how it is calculated. So you must know what is probability of default, exposure at default, loss given default, and then you must know what is market risk, what is operational risk. So if you are acquainted with all the terminologies and maybe not too deep dived in the how they are calculated, so there are very complex quantitative models built on how they are calculated for each counterbody. So I think the basic terminologies, if you have a knowledge of that, I think you should be good to go there. So not much apart from that. And plus, I think an Excel is a skill I think which most of the jobs require. So you can be pretty acquainted with that. So that will help you get to do things faster in the Credit Suisse.
Alright, Akshit. So if you were to summarize your experience in 3 simple words, what would that be?
That's, I would say, chill work-life balance. Okay. And of course, chill work-life balance leads to happy life. So chill, happy, and scary at the same time. since you were not very sure about whether you will be getting a stipend, whether you will get PP offer or not. So it was a scary times, I think, in Credit Suisse right now. So chill, happy and scary would be my 3 words.
All right. And let's say, based on your experience, if you were given a full-time opportunity, would you want to continue there or not?
So given my preference, I'm more inclined towards buy-side roles or asset management industry, or maybe towards IB role. So I won't go on the basis of that, but I won't say that whoever wants to enter into a risk role should not go into that. So if anyone prefers to go into a risk role, I think I would say this can be a very good start, since the name of the bank and the reputation is very good. And plus apart from what is happening right now, I think UBS and Credit Suisse are big names in the finance industry. So it will be a definite recommendation for the people who are looking out for risk profiles. But for me, I won't say that I would want to continue there.
So I think that pretty much sums up our interview for tonight. Thanks for your time.
Yeah.
So for our viewers, we would be pinning down Akshit's LinkedIn profile in the description box. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any more queries. Thank you.